So, so when we look at, so these metrics are, a lot of them are hard metrics that we can extract by looking at the digital exhaust from all these systems like GitHub and Jira and all the CI/CD stack. What about some of the softer elements of developer productivity from a human being perspective, whether it's things around teams or collaboration? Google's big on psychological safety. That came out of their Aristotle study. They found the biggest indicator of engineering productivity was psychological safety, and there's many other things like that. We hear of things like tribal knowledge and hero culture and all these things that are happening on a software element that are really hard to measure. As a CTO, how do you pay attention to these things as human beings, especially now in COVID, where it's all remote working? It's probably going to be accentuated even more. Yeah.
I think it's super easy and very unhelpful to kind of stereotype your developers into the people that would love working from home, that like not talking to people, that just want to kind of have their cans on, listening to their music and doing their thing. It's much more nuanced than that, right? There are times in the day and in the week when people absolutely want to do that, but there are times when they will want to, share, right? Developers by their nature and engineers by their nature revel in learning. So enabling opportunities for them to learn, for them to share experiences, to showcase what they've been doing. We introduced TPT, which is 10% time. So every sprint, each engineer gets 10% of that sprint time to work on something that is important to them, right? It could just be stepping away from your laptop and just having some ideas and writing some stuff down. It could be learning a new language or a new programming skill. It could be working on a particular widget and a thing you've been kind of playing around with in your head. But we then encourage them to share that work and to work collaboratively with other people to share their TPT on a common purpose or a common outcome. And it's been an important part of the transformation we've been putting in place to make people feel comfortable putting their hand up saying, I don't understand this, or I'm worried that if we do this, this will happen. And not then to be getting the message that you're being overly negative or nitpicky. You're raising valid questions. We're going to address it as a team. Once the team feels comfortable and feels happy, we're going to move on. If you're still uncomfortable, then we can keep talking about it, but there comes a point where we need to move on as a team. But you've done your bit, put your hand up and you've raised it, you've raised the point. I think it's easy to overlook the human part of this, right? Engineering teams by their nature tend to be high performing. Right? They're critical to an organization, particularly in the digital transformation world. They are ultimately the engine room of value creation for an organization. And they need very, very effective management. And I've worked in too many businesses where the quality of leadership and the quality of management hasn't been suitable for the level of talent. And it's just then not delivered the outcomes. I think there's plenty of places, you talk about all your digital giants. They're typically the ones that have nailed a bunch of management behaviors that work really well for brilliant technical people. And there's a whole bunch of places who just thought, we'll get some brilliant technical people, but manage them the way we've managed people for the last 10 years. And that's the difference ultimately.